Hey everybody, how is everyone doing? I hope everyone is having a good day. I sure am. It's beautiful outside and everything. So, if y'all see the title of the video, y'all see that story time. I'm going to do a story time. It's about when I was living with my child's father, which was the biggest mistake of my life. And this is to women out here who thinking about living with their baby daddy or living with their baby daddy. Um, how's it going? You know what I'm saying? And the ups and downs you have to deal with when you are living with your child's father. I'm gonna tell you my story, okay? So it was back in 2000 and I think 2002. Hold on, today's 2004. Yeah, and well, when I moved with him, it was in 2001, and yeah, it was a roller coaster. At the time, I before I moved in with him, he asked me to, can he came to me and wanted us to move in together. At the time we was not even together. We were separated for like at least a year, and then we started talking and everything. And he proclaimed how he wanted his family back, and my lease was about to end, and he just say, we should have lived together and make it work. And at first, I wasn't sure. I asked friends, like, is that even a good idea? And they like, if it feels right, then it's good. If it doesn't, it's not. Okay. If you don't feel peaceful about moving in with him, um, then don't. So, I was thinking it and thinking it and thinking it. And I wish I didn't do it. But um, at the time, I was in my apartment and the lease was about to end. And then when I finally made the decision, they already talk about um, renewing my lease and everything. So what I had to do, I had to break the new contract. I'm glad I didn't have to pay any fees or anything. So I decide, at the time I decide to move in with him. So I'm now talking about the process of what happened. And I had a cat, um, and it's crazy to me because in the almost at the end of me moving, I started to have fleas. Okay, I was starting to have fleas in my apartment, and I think that was the first sign to not move in with this man. I didn't have fleas before, but when I started to decide to move in with my child's father, I started getting fleas. I started to get stressed out about moving. Um, I had to go to the rental office and explain to them. I'm just glad that I didn't have to pay no fees, so I was lucky about that. I was so scared to even enter the apartment. I left some of my stuff there because I had fleas. So I'm like, I left my stuff, and I shouldn't did that because I had some of my clothes, I had a TV, I had all that stuff, and I left it in the apartment when I moved. And they contact me, of course, and say, "You got your stuff here. We're gonna put your stuff in like some kind of storage or whatever, or sell it." Yeah, that was a big mistake. He went off on me and he said, "Why did you leave your stuff there? We could have sold, you could have sold the TV, you could have sold the table, and all of that." Because I had like a little coffee table. Um, I just left it because I it was fleas in the apartment, okay, and I had to get them to treat the fleas and all that stuff. So that was that, okay. Um, moving forward, we moved in together, and it was hell. It was not a pleasant move. Moving anyway. Moving is not easy. It's stressful, y'all, and it just was worse. Everything was just going bad every time I tried. Every time we getting closer to moving in together. But we finally moved in together, and everything seemed okay in the beginning. When we moved in this new house, we was trying to fix up the house and everything. He had more stuff than I had stuff, so he had furniture, he had a couch, he had a TV and all that stuff. So I didn't see a reason why I should have brought my stuff, and he didn't want that couch there because my apartment had fleas, and two, I didn't want to bring anything to the new house because it was a house, okay. So he also had a dog, so I couldn't bring cat or anything. So um anyway, everything was fine for a few months. We were together, we were working out. My child was happy. She was happy that, we moved into a new house and she has her own room and everything. Because at his house, at his old house, she don't pretty much have her room. She had to share her room. And now she's happy. She has her own room, and I was happy for her. So, months passed. I had a new job. I got a new car and everything like that. We started having problems in the relationship because we were together. But so we started to have problems, okay? If y'all don't know about living with somebody, you don't know how they live. You don't know how they, really, you don't know they're messy or organized, okay? Because living with him was like, a nightmare, okay? He's I would say he's kind of like a messy person, all right? And sometimes I'll be cleaning up, and then sometimes I don't see the point cleaning up because every time I clean up, there is a mess again the next day. And I'm like, I just cleaned up, I just swept the floor and all that, and now it's messy again. So simple things like that just ache my nerves. And y'all know how men are. They leave the toilet seat up and all that stuff. And you got to go in there and make sure the toilet seat is down. And a couple of times I almost fell in the toilet. Okay. So that was crazy right there. But I live in styles a little different. I try to keep things tidy and clean, but he was kind of a messy person, and he has his own business, so he has products everywhere. He has his um he just had products everywhere, okay, and everything. And as of course kids, he had his other kids there and my daughter. So, it's a regular day. I wanted us to be a family, like he said, and everything. And he been busy and all that stuff. But I started to feel something just didn't feel right. When I was living with him, something didn't feel right about me living with him. He started to leave at 3 a.m. and I didn't know where he was going. So I text and call his phone, like, where are you going at 3 a.m.? I'd be asleep. And I'm a light sleeper, so any little noise I hear. And way my room, oh yeah, too, we slept in two different rooms, okay? He had a room downstairs and I had a room upstairs. And my window is towards to the outside where the cars are at. The cars park on the street. So I would know if he leaving or not. Because, you know. But yeah, he believed at the time, he believed that we should sleep in two separate rooms and not sleep, in the bed together. Um, I said, okay, we could do that. So I had a room of my own upstairs. He put a bed upstairs and all that for me to sleep on, and he was sleeping downstairs. And honestly, guys, I don't believe in that. I really don't believe in, if I'm with you, I want to be sleeping in the same bed with you. I want to cuddle with you. I want to lay on your chest while we fall asleep. I don't want to sleep by myself. So that was a first red flag. Like, I didn't like that at all. I didn't understand why he really wanted to do that, but I didn't like that, okay? Because I love to cuddle. I love to be around my man well at night, you know what I'm saying? I feel safe. I feel secure in my man's arms at night, and like only we in the same bed together, it's when you intimate, right? But yeah, so I agreed to that and whatever. But at 3 a.m., he was leaving. I heard a car engine because he had a car that had just it's a brrr, and I could hear it right at 3 a.m. And I look out the window and I see him driving off. And I'm like, where is he going at 3 a.m.? I call and text his phone and he tell me, oh, I am going to my friend's house at 3 a.m., y'all. I thought he's asleep, but he's over here driving off at 3 a.m., okay? Or 2 a.m. And I like, at 3, I didn't think none of it because he does go to his friend's house sometimes. So I like, okay, whatever. And then it just felt, and then he come back like 6 to 8 o'clock in the morning. And I just don't feel, I didn't feel right at the time. I really didn't feel right. So he kept doing that a couple of nights. We were arguing. We were having fights all the time. We were arguing. He wants things a certain way. I want things a certain way. And we found out that we wasn't going to work. It's not going to work. So we broke up while we stayed in the same house. So, of course, again, he drove off at 3 a.m. Okay. And I said, something just don't feel right, right? There's something told me that he was seeing a woman. He was seeing somebody. And I wish I had the video because I really record. I recorded, okay? I record throwing his stuff in the hallway because I just felt he was seeing somebody. So I threw his stuff in the hallway. And it wasn't when we broke up he started seeing somebody. He saw someone while we was together trying to make it work in the same house. So he, I'm saying, I was angry because that's why we broke up. Like, because he's just sneaking around at 3 a.m. And so I threw all his stuff in the hallway. I threw all his stuff in the hallway, do his clothes. I threw everything in the hallway while he wasn't there. And, he came back and like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you throwing my stuff? And I knew you was seeing somebody. Like, I could feel it. Like, as a woman, you have an intuition, right? So it really, our relationship was very toxic. It was very toxic, and I wish I never moved in him with him. It was very toxic. So we decide, we was broken up, and then he started to be with that person. And the thing is, it's just crazy how things turn out. Okay, I was I was thinking of leaving, moving somewhere else. At the time, I really didn't have the funds. Okay, I only had funds for that rent every month because we split rent. We did a 50-50 thing. Okay, did a 50-50. All right. So we split rent. We split the utilities and all that stuff, and I didn't have enough. I had to go work a job and everything. And I just start feeling miserable. Didn't want to see his face and everything. I tried to cook for him, and he was picky, like, oh, I don't want that. We always have that kind of food. Um, he kind of person that he wanted like something. I don't know. He don't like the way I cook. Even though I cook really pretty good, he kind of do the vegetarian thing. He eats meat, but he don't eat meat like that. You know what I mean? And when I cook and I cook the way he cook, he's like, "Oh, it's I we ate that. We already ate that. Why? He be nitpicking stuff. Like, I don't want that. He be like, I don't want that, and then he go and fix his own food, and I'm like, wow, that's a slap to my face. Like, you don't even want to eat what I cook, and then you went in the kitchen and make your own food. So that was crazy, because that really hurt me, and that hurt my feelings, because I love cooking and being there for my man, and he complained about my food, and he don't like what I cook him. That that's a slap in the face to a woman, she slave over the kitchen and all that stuff, and you complain about my food, and yeah, that that made me stop cooking for him. I stopped cooking for him for then, and then when I did stop cooking for him, he complained about me not cooking. So which one is it? Like, you don't like the food I fix, but then you complain when I don't cook. Like, I have no motivation to cook at all because you complain. And now it's just I feel um nervous cooking because I'm like, oh, my person like it, whatever. But it was crazy, y'all. So fast forward, the lease was about to end. I was happy because I wanted to get out of that house. Okay. At the time I was like driving, I wasn't at home much because of course I was working, and two, I was driving, I just wanted to be out of that house, and I didn't want to be around that man and nothing like that. So I stopped, you know, I just went out a lot. I went out a lot, and yeah. So yeah, the lease about to end, and I had to make a decision to get out. He wanted to, I don't know, he wanted me to stay. He said, "Oh, it's cheaper for you just to stay here, and we split the rent and all that stuff." And I'm like, I don't want to stay here though, because I'm miserable, and you were cheating on me and everything. So I didn't want to stay there. I just wanted to go and leave. So I got myself an apartment at the time, but I was running out of money. Um, I didn't really think of it. I really didn't think that would that would affect anything. I thought, because I had a job, okay? Um, I had a job, but I just paid I paid the last rent in that house, and then I paid rent at the new place. So it's like I ran out of money at the time. And two, I had a car accident on top of that. So I lost my car. I had my old car I had my old car which I was about to sell. I was about to sell that car, and then I had an accident, and I canceled it and everything. I started not to. I didn't sell it because I needed a car. So I'm like, if I sold this car, I wouldn't have a car right now. So I had to keep my old car. Um, I was upset about that. I really was upset losing my car, but things happen for a reason, and I'm just glad that I made it out. I rather the car, I'd rather the car be beat up than me be beat up. Okay, car could be replaced, but your life can't. So that was really traumatic, and even then, he was upset that he had to come get me from the accident. After they checked my body and make sure I'm okay, he was upset that he had to come get me. So I'm like, why are you upset that I got in an accident? You should be happy that I'm okay. Like, you never asked if I'm okay or nothing. You just upset because you had, like, you had this event going on, because he worked for himself, so he had this event going on, and I had got in a car accident, and you upset about it. And the crazy part, the same day, same day, his sister got in an accident too. So that was crazy right there. I don't know, that's a spiritual thing or what. That sounds like a spiritual thing. Like, it was crazy. Oh yeah, this video going long, y'all. But yeah, um, I got into my apartment, my new apartment, and I was happy. I was glad to get out of that house. I felt instant relief. Instant relief. But before, oh yeah, sorry I'm all over the place, y'all, because I'm going by memory, okay? But, um, before, um, before I moved out, okay, we had a really big fight. We had a really big fight. And, um, I saw him texting this woman and all that stuff, and I took his phone. I know, guys, I was so mad. I feel like I was snapping. I was about to snap. I took his phone and I threw it. I threw it and everything. And so, you texting this woman and all that stuff, and I took his products and I grabbed it and dumped it and everything, and he was mad. We were both mad. So he went upstairs and he grabbed my stuff and he threw it on the floor and trying to throw my stuff outside. So yeah, police was called, and it was in front of my child. And I know our relationship was so toxic. My baby was screaming and crying for us to stop. You know what I'm saying? Because other times we were arguing in front of our child, and she was crying and screaming, and like, it's not good to argue in front of your kids. I felt so bad arguing in front of my child, and I had to apologize to her. Um, I tried not to do it in front of her. He don't care if you argue in front of her. He just don't care. But yeah, police was called and they say like, okay, when are you? I said I'm gonna move out anyway. He said, and they said, when you gonna move? I said I'll move out today because my apartment was already ready. I was already packing my stuff in my car, and I was just ready to go. So that's what I did. So I took my stuff that day. It was hot. It was sunny. And I moved all my stuff in my car by myself. Thank God I didn't have a lot of stuff. I only had my clothes and some little stuff here and there. I had a desk and a chair. I got rid of the chair. It was broken anyway. And I just moved out. And I felt relief in my new apartment. Of course, I was crying and stuff, but I felt so good that I got out of there. So, yes, the moral of the story is, y'all, don't move in with y'all's father. Just don't. Even if y'all not even together, it ends up in a disaster. Okay, we wasn't together for a few months, but things are still happening because we in the same house. And I ain't gonna go in detail, but um, but it was terrible. Okay, um, the woman he was seeing was his other baby mama. So he was telling her all these lies about me and everything, and probably how miserable he is in the house. Okay. It just, pillow talk or whatever. And this is the same woman he always was cheating on me with before. So he never stopped messing with her at all. Even when we moved in together, trying to make it work for the family, he still was doing the same bull BS. Okay, so I took a lesson in this whole thing to not do that ever again. To move in with uh really move in with a man. I gotta really make sure that we are together. Make sure we, capable, and we really, really work things in the relationship before we even decide the next step of moving in together. Because you move in together, you don't know how that person lives. You really don't know how they operate. you know so I recommend you ladies to not don't move in with your child's father. Okay, just don't do it. And I see some women say, "Oh, we're not even together, but we sleep in the same bed together." There's men on these dating apps talking about they with their baby mama. The baby mama live with them, but they're not in the same bed or nothing like that. But they live in the same house. Ladies, don't do it. Okay, just don't do it, because 10 times out of 10, you know, I mean, you still gonna mess with each other, okay? Y'all under the same house, okay? In the same room, okay? Me and mine wasn't. We were in different rooms, and we had so many fights, and this was miserable. And now, like I said, I learned my lesson. So yeah, this is the end of the video, y'all. It's going on 30 minutes. This is the end of the video. I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.